At this point, you should already know how to change non-repeating decimals, or sometimes we call them terminating decimals because they just stop, into a fraction. What we're going to focus on is how do we change the repeating decimals into a fraction, and then we'll prove that it actually works. So first off, how about a little refresher? Anytime that you have a non-repeating decimal or a terminating decimal, find the last place value. In this case, it's the 3, so this is in the tenths place, and because it's in the tenths, you would put a 10 on the bottom. If it was in the hundredths, you'd put 100 on the bottom of the fraction. If it was the thousandths, you'd put 1,000 on the bottom of the fraction, and so on and so forth. Then, to figure out what you would actually put on the top, you just look at what comes after the decimal. In this case, it's a 3. So we'll put 3 on top. So we're saying 0.3 is equal to 3/10. How do we prove that? Well, if you recall, any fraction can be made into a decimal if we take the top number and divide it by the bottom number. So let's go ahead and pull up our calculator and check it out. So here we've got 3 divided by 10. We'll go ahead and hit the enter button, and we'll see what it gives us for the decimal, and there it is, 0.3. The issue that we're running into, though, is that when we have a repeating decimal, we're tempted to do the exact same thing, and that's not going to work for us. For example, again, we've got the 3 in the last place value, at least that's what it looks like, and we'll say it's the tenths. And if we were to put a 10 on the bottom and a 3 on top, we would not get 0.333 repeating, we would just be getting 0.3. And that's a different decimal, so it is not 3/10. It cannot be. Well, all that you have to do is take a look at that last place value and go, you know what? Let's subtract 1 off of it. So what's this last place value? The tenths? So take 1 off of that. 10 minus 1 is 9. And that's our new denominator for the fraction. And now we just put a 3 on top. This simplifies down to 1/3. And we can pull out our calculator and take 1 divided by 3 and see if we get 0.3 repeating. So here's 1 divided by 3. And you'll notice that we do get 0.3 repeating. Same thing if you didn't simplify the fraction. 3 divided by 9, you'd get the same thing again. So we know that this is the proper method. So let's go through and make sure that we can do both of them. I don't think we need to check them anymore with the calculator. Let's just go ahead and run through this. This is a terminating fraction. There's no repeating bar, so we're just going to handle it normal. What's the last place value? The hundredths. So we'll put 100 on the bottom, and we'll put 21 on top. Over here, this has a repeating bar, so we find the last place value, which is hundredths also, but then we take 1 off of it. So 100 minus 1 equals 99. So that is going to be our new denominator, 21 over 99. Let's go through and make sure that you can do these without any issues. Hit pause, work out these 3 problems, and when you're ready, go ahead and hit play. Okay, on number 8, we should have had 6/9 because again, the tenths has a repeating bar. Take 1 off of it, and if you simplify it, what you need to make it 2/3. This one's a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and make it into a mixed number. 1 and 345 over. Let's see, that's the place value of 1,000. So 1,000 minus 1 is 999. And then we can make this into an improper fraction, which would be 1,344 over 999. Does that simplify? It does. You can divide top and bottom both by 3, and so that goes ahead and gets us 448 over 333. This one takes a little bit to figure out the place value of the 1, but let's see, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So since it has the repeating bar on there, we'll subtract 1 off of it. That makes us go down to 99,999, and we'll put 38,621 on top.